Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please join us on another class on Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we'll be studying Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 53, Lord Kṛṣṇa kidnaps Rukmiṇī Devi. Please join us for Jaya Radha Madhav. And today it's a very wonderful class because the amazing glories and pastimes of Lord Kṛṣṇa are described, where we hear as Lord protects so wonderfully, saving his devotees from all kind of mischaps or mishappenings or miseries. Please join us for Jaya Radha Madhav. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Please join us today in the study of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 53, with the recitation of the first few verses. Lord Kṛṣṇa kidnaps Rukmiṇī. Hare Krishna.
Will first do Om Namo.
Yes, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jaya Mudiryet
Tato Jayamudirye
Shautam Swakatha Kṛṣṇa
Shautam Sakatha Kṛṣṇa
Punya Shavana Kirtanaha
Punya Shravana Kirtana
Hridayantasto Bhadrani
Hridayantastoy Bhadrani
Vidunote Suhatsatam
Vidunoti Surratsatam
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttam Shloke
Bhagavate Ruttam Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki.
Hare Krishna. So, please join us with the recitation of the first mantra. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 53, verse 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha
Shri Shukuvacha
Vedavyasatu Sandesham
Vedarbhyasatu Sandesham
Nishamya Yadunandanaha
Nishamya Yadunandana
Pragya Panina Panim
Pragya Panina Panim
Prahasannidam Abravit.
Prahasannidam Abravit.
Please.
Shri Shukuvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Vedarbhyasatu Sandesham
Vedabhya Satu Sandesham
Nishamya Yadunandana
Nishamya Yadunandanaha
Pragrihya Panina Panim
Pragrihya Panina Panim
Prahasannidam Abravit.
Prahasannidam Abravit. Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Shri Shukuvacha
Shri Shukdev Goswami said,
Shri Shukdev Goswami said
Vedabhya
Vadarbhya
of the princess of Vedarbha.
of the princess of Vidarbha.
Vidarbha. Sa,
Sa,
he,
he,
tu,
tu,
and
and
Sandesham.
Sandesham,
The confidential message.
the confidential message.
Nishamya,
Nishamya,
hearing.
hearing.
Yadu Nandanaha,
Yadu Nandana,
Lord Kṛṣṇa,
Lord Kṛṣṇa,
the descendant of Yadu.
the descendant of Yadu.
Pragriya,
Pragrya,
taking.
taking
Panina,
Panina,
by his hand.
by his hand.
Panim,
Panim,
the hand of the Brahman messenger.
the hand of the Brahman messenger.
Prahasan,
Prahasan,
smiling.
smiling.
Idam,
Idam,
this.
this.
Abravit,
Abravit,
said.
said.
Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Shukdev Goswami said, thus hearing the confidential message of Princess Vaidarbhi, Lord Yadunandana took the Brahmana's hand and smiling spoke to him as follows. There is no purpose, we'll cover next few verses. Text 2. The Supreme Lord said, just as Rukmiṇī's mind is fixed on me, my mind is fixed on her. I can't even sleep at night. I know that Rukmiṇī, out of envy, has forbidden our marriage. Text 3.
She has dedicated herself exclusively to me, and her beauty is flawless. I will bring her here after threshing those worthless kings in battle, just as one brings a blazing flame out of firewood. Purport. When latent fire is aroused in wood, the fire bursts forth, consuming the wood in the act of manifestation. Similarly, Lord Krishna boldly predicted that Rukmiṇī would come forth to take his hand, and that in the process the wicked kings would be burned by the fire of Krishna's determination. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tadaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So when Lord is happy, everything is blissful. So in the previous chapter we heard as how Rukmiṇī sent message to Lord Krishna. So Rukmiṇī's message to Lord Krishna was carried by the Brahman. So in the previous chapter, one other reason was given by Srila Prabhupada in Krishna book as well as in the purports, was that when Lord Krishna was attacked, means again Mathura was attacked for the 18th time by Jarasandha. At that time, what was happening? Lord Krishna was collecting the booty after having killed all the warriors in the barbarian army. Kalyavan was killed by the sight of Muchukunda. And then Lord returned from the cave after blessing Muchukunda, and then he killed all 30 million warriors one by one. And then afterwards, he was, along with Balaram, was collecting all the booty, all the treasure that they were carrying. And on bullock carts, it was being carried by the men and was taken to Mathura city. So at that time, Jarasandha appeared. And when Jarasandha appeared, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram showed as if they are afraid of him. And they ran. And when they ran, Jarasandha called them out that this is not a behavior of a Kshatriya. And he was laughing that Lord Krishna is running from the battlefield. Jarasandha is here with his 23 Akshahini armies. So those armies, and 10 of Akshahinis were led by Jarasandha himself. We heard 5 Akshahinis were led by king of Vindhya Desh. 5 Akshahinis were led by Duryodhan, and 3 Akshahinis were led by the king of Bengal. So 23 Akshahinis he had taken to fight with Lord Krishna, and this was 18th time. And feeling that Lord Krishna is, running, he starts laughing and he is in amazement. He is chasing with his all the 23 Akshani armies. He is chasing Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. And even though they are not afraid, they are fully capable of killing these 23 Akshahinis, but there was one reason we discussed in the last class. And what was that reason? That Lord Krishna remembered that if this time Jarasandha is, if he loses the battle, before leaving from Magad, Magad used to be in Orissa region. So before leaving from Magad, he had called all the astrologer Brahmanas and he said that we did all this worship and we did all this, you did all this prediction, and if I lose this time, I will come and kill all of you. So Lord Krishna, he remembers that Jarasandha, if Lord Krishna kills 23 Akshahinis, then he would kill the Brahmana, and Lord Krishna is giving value to even one Brahmana above all these 23 Akshahini armies. Because Brahmanas are Lord Krishna's devotees. So they are praying to Lord Vishnu. As we will hear in this chapter, as how Kshatriyas are worshippers of, Lord Shiva, Goddess Durga, Surya Dev, Vivaswan, and so forth, Lord Brahma also. As we heard how Hiranyakashipu, he performed great meditation to please Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma came and gave him boon. So, those are, and then the people who are lesser at lower level, they worship other demigods as their deities, as the family deities. And then we also heard how in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Kṛṣṇa reveals that there are even people who are in the mode of ignorance. They are worshipping ghosts and pishachas and hobgoblins and so forth. And they get that destination. So again, the different category of people, based on their worship, they get the results accordingly. And yet at the same time, lost devotee, they worship Lord Himself, and Brahmanas, they worship Lord Vishnu. And when we pray to Lord Kṛṣṇa, there is a common prayer we sing, Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Go Brahmanaya Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So here we are glorifying Lord Kṛṣṇa, who is the benefactor, who is the well-wisher of the Brahmanas and the cows. Go Brahmanaya Hitaya Cha. Go is cow and Brahman is, like Brahmanas, and then Hitaya Cha, well-wisher. So he protects the Brahmanas. So even to protect one Brahman, he would not kill 23 Akshayana armies. So that is the protection that he is providing. So that's why when you go to Gujarat and Rajasthan area, there are many famous temples. And those temples have, Lord Kṛṣṇa is called Ranchor. So, he is called as Ranchor Ji. Ji is in awe and reverence, is in respect, we add in India. So he is worshipped. While a Kshatriya, if he flees the battlefield, he would be condemned. That is, when he is blasphemed for having left the battlefield, his blaspheme, that he is, that is worse than death for a Kshatriya. So again, as Lord Kṛṣṇa reveals to Arjuna that if you leave this battlefield because of your compassion, because of your bodily relationship, not carry out your prescribed duties, then you will be blasphemed by all these warriors, and they will only think that you have given it up because of the weakness of heart. So this is how, Kshatriyas, they have to perform their prescribed duties, and when challenged on a battlefield or in a fight, they have to respond. Yet in this particular instance, Lord Kṛṣṇa is fleeing away because he wants to take care of more important matters. He wants to make sure that the Brahmanas are not hurt by Jarasandha. He also wants to make sure that everyone has already been moved to Dwarka, so he should continue his Dwarka Leela now, where Lord Balaram is going to get married, right? King Revata, after meeting Lord Brahma, is coming to Dwarka. So they have to be there in Dwarka in the right moment so that, the princess Revati can get married to Lord Balaram. And also he is aware that Rukmiṇī Devi, she is going to send him a message. So he has to be there, to receive the message and respond accordingly. So just by his one action, he is solving so many purposes. And at the same time, he is also giving this satisfaction to Jarasandha, because Jarasandha was constantly being consoled by his well-wishers, his advisors and other demoniac kings who were his friends, that it was just by fortune, it was just by providence that he was losing every time. And that's why he would gather the army and again attack. And 17 times Lord Kṛṣṇa defeated him and granted him, life. So again, he let him live, because Lord Kṛṣṇa knew that his purpose, Lord Vasudeva knew that his purpose was to descend on the planet as son of Vasudeva, to deliver the earth, to relieve the weight on Mother Earth. And this weight was because of the demoniac kings, who were actually demons, but they were dressed as kings. And they were causing havoc. They were causing a lot of irreligiosity because of their tendency to lord over this material nature. So here Lord Kṛṣṇa is showing his mercy as Ranchor, and he's solving so many purposes. So after they kept running for a long distance, they showed as if they're getting tired. So they saw a high mountain, right? And this mountain they started climbing. So this is Persian mountain, which was so high that its peak was always covered by the clouds. and there was incessant rainfall happening. And as they started climbing, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, Jarasangha sent his armies, and they started, climbing and trying to find, but they could not find Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. So it is said that Jarasangha put, the fire all around that mountain, so that everything all the way to the peak would be burnt. And thinking that he has killed, he has burned Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, he leaves thinking he's victorious, and and the last thought he has is, when someone is supported by Brahmanas, the victory is sure. One is sure to be victorious, one is sure to get victory in a battle, in a war, in a fight. So he's thinking like that. And of course, when he went back, he gave huge amount of charity, because he was feeling so nice that he has finally won, and he has driven away and killed Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. So that is his thought. However, when he hears later on that Lord Balaram just got married to Revati, and there was a great festivities, and the marriage ceremony was performed in a grand style in Dwarka. So the news reached him, and that's where he realized, oh, they are alive. Yet at the same time, Lord Krishna, he receives, so right after Lord Balaram is married, Rukmiṇī Devi. So this is Devashi Narad's doing. Devashi Narad, he is at the right place at the right time, doing the right things. So he glorified Lord Krishna's name, form, activities, pastimes in the in the assembly hall of King Bhishmaka, who was the king of Vidarbha. So there he glorified, and knowing that Lord Krishna is so beautiful, he is so magnanimous, and he has such a wonderful personality, and he is loved by all, and he is as Devashi Narad is singing glories of the Supreme Lord. Of course, he's using the choicest of words, because Lord is also known as Purushottama, and the topmost, like Uttama Shloka. So he is glorified with the best of the verses. So in this manner, as Devashi Narad is glorifying Lord Krishna's valor and so forth. And of course, Parashara Muni gives the definition of who is Bhagwan. So this particular definition is very important for us to also understand. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashashriha jnana vairagayascheva sannam bhaga iti gana. Aishwaryasya. So one is, full in all the fortunes. So again, he is also known as Madhava, the husband of the goddess of fortune. So of course, he has all the fortune, and he is Sarvalok Maheshwaram. He is the supreme proprietor of all material as well as spiritual universes. Viryasya. He is the strongest of all. He is the, strongest personality. And sometimes people would come and they try to, defy God. So sometimes people would approach Srila Prabhupada, and they would say, is Krishna so amazing that he can build a stone, he can create a stone that he cannot lift, so heavy? Srila Prabhupada said, yes. And then they said, okay, now if he cannot lift it, then he is not God. But Srila Prabhupada said, but Lord Balaram would lift it. So, defeating their argument. On another occasion, the same question was asked. That can Krishna create a stone so heavy that he cannot lift? Srila Prabhupada says, sure. But in the very next moment, he will have the strength to lift it up. So yes, when he created, it was so heavy that he couldn't lift it up, but at the next moment, he has the strength. So this is Lord's potencies are constantly expanding. Not just his pleasure potencies, but all his other potencies as well. Like the potency to, be able to do magnanimous work, to be able to show valor and strength. Even that is expanding constantly. So that is being glorified. Viryasya, Yasha, one who is most famous. And Lord Krishna's glories are sung past, present and future, as well as all over the universes. All the universes, material as well as spiritual universes. So he is the most famous personality. Shriya. So, one who is very beautiful. So again, he is the most beautiful personality. He has lotus-like petal, as we hear in Brahma Samhita. Lord Brahma is glorifying Lord Kṛṣṇa. Vedum Kṛṇanta Aravinda Dalayataksham Barhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Vedum Kṛṇanta Aravinda Dalayataksham. So Lord, He's playing on His flute, Venu, which is a like 8-inch long flute He's playing. And Arvinda Dalayataksham, His eyes are like the lotus petals, so beautiful eyes. Barhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam, and His complexion is that of rainy clouds, the bluish dark complexion. And He's wearing the peacock feather in His head. And he is Navyavana. And Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. And his beauty defeats the beauty of 10 million of Kandarpas, Cupids, Kamadev. So you can imagine how beautiful he is. And that's why Lord is also known by the name Madan Mohan. What does it mean? Madan means Cupid. Mohan is one who enchants even the Cupid. So Madan Mohan means one who enchants the Cupid. And there is a very sweet pastime in Puranas that comes that once, Kamdev, he approaches Devashi Narad, and at that time Devashi Narad says, why are you trying to, bring me under your control? If you want to bring under control, you should try to bring, approach Lord Kṛṣṇa. And Kamdev, Cupid goes during the time when Lord is performing rasa dance. He's dancing with the gopis. So he has expanded as many gopis as are there, and they are all singing and dancing together. And at that time he's trying to aim at Lord Kṛṣṇa, but as he's about to shoot his arrow, right? Kamdev's arrows are not like the warrior arrows. His arrows are, when one is shot, the senses get overwhelmed by the sense objects. So it perturbs one's senses. So they are also said to be like, as pushpa. So because pushpa means, flower. And flower has a beautiful form, is very fragrant, very soft to touch, very delicate and very attractive. So that's how one gets attracted when looking at flowers, so such a beautiful object. Similarly, the arrow made up of these flowers enhances one's senses, and one is able to suddenly get attracted to the sense objects. So he's trying to shoot his arrows, but every time he's about to shoot, one of the gopis would come in the way, so he would stop himself. And then finally he gets so frustrated that he decides to shoot one of the gopis. And at that time, as he's about to shoot one of the gopis, then Lord Kṛṣṇa comes in front, and he focuses on Lord Kṛṣṇa's form, looking at his beautiful form, and he immediately faints on the spot. So Lord's beauty even enchants Kandarpa, the Cupid. So you can imagine that his beauty is more than the 10 million Kandarpas. So such is the beauty of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Jnana. Jnana is, Lord is the most learned. And then Vairagya, and is most renounced. And you can hear, means when we look at Ranchor incident, that pastime where Lord left all the booty that was there, all the treasure, the heaps of treasure that was he had gathered from the barbarian army, he left it at that spot and he just ran, giving away even his glories. He is saying that to protect my servant, I will take all kind of blame. Who can be more merciful than Kṛṣṇa? You can imagine that he is ready to take all kind of blames, all kind of blaspheming on himself, just so that his devotee does not get affected. Now that is love. He is in this constant mood of giving. Yet at the same time, sometimes people are so bewildered that if he is all giving, then all we have to do is take. And the Sad Goswamis, they enlighten us that our mood is not of taking, our mood is of giving, because if we take, that's lust. If we give, that is love. So we want to serve Lord. But Lord is always eager to serve his devotees. And devotees of his devotees. He says that my devotees are not as dear to me as the devotees of my devotees. And that's why we also heard as how Lord Shiva is meditating on Sankarshan, Lord Sankarshan. And Lord Sankarshan is none other than Balaram, who is the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. So he is trying to serve one, Lord Shiva is trying to serve one who is always serving Lord Kṛṣṇa. So here, Vairagya is being identified. There are many examples we see of Vairagya in this particular case. And Lord Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, they jump from the top of this Praharshan. So again, the picture is given here in this particular book as how Lord Kṛṣṇa and Lord Balaram, they jump. And it is said that the jump was 11 yojanas long. So that's 88 miles, in length. So you can imagine as Lord Kṛṣṇa and Lord Balaram, they jump through it because they are the Supreme Personalities of Godhead. So they can do this amazing feats, that normal personalities cannot do. Yet at the same time, Srila Prabhupada warns us that there are these Praka Sahajiyas. They try to, imitate Lord Kṛṣṇa. They want to perform rasa dance. They want to perform all kind of, dancing with the girls and all those activities, which is abominable. These Praka Sahajiyas are bringing bad name to Lord Kṛṣṇa, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is very important for us to understand that Lord is so merciful, that He is ready to share everything, because when He brought everyone from Mathura to Dwarka, every resident, He received a palace and with all the facilities there. And they are not even paying any rent or anything. And as we'll hear, means even this residents start blaspheming Lord Kṛṣṇa during the Samantika jewel, story, when we'll hear. So again, we have to be very cautious not to do any such activity. And here, in this particular chapter, as we hear, Lord Kṛṣṇa is revealing to the Brahmana as how Rukmiṇī is envious because of the animosity he has in his heart, because of the feeling that he doesn't like Lord Kṛṣṇa for some reason. He's bewildered under the influence of Maya. So he is trying to deride Lord Kṛṣṇa from having Rukmiṇī Devi as his wife. So yet at the same time, man proposes, God disposes. We'll see some of those lessons today. So this Brahmana, when Rukmiṇī Devi hears about Lord Kṛṣṇa's name, form, activities, pastimes from Devashi Narad, and we heard, when one is full in all these 6 qualities, these potencies, then that is Bhagwan. So that's the definition given by that personality is Bhagwan. That definition is given by Parashar Muni, who is the father of Vyasadeva. And so Rukmiṇī Devi, it has already given her heart to Lord Kṛṣṇa. She is constantly meditating on Lord Kṛṣṇa's name, form, activities, pastimes. So that is Smaran Leela. Also said to be the best way for us to make a spiritual advancement by constantly meditating on Lord's name, form, activities and pastimes, especially pastimes as how Lord is so magnanimous. So Srila Prabhupada used to say, yes, we know God is great, but we should also understand why He is so great and how He is so great. So it is through His pastimes we hear as how Lord Kṛṣṇa is so great, He is so magnanimous, He is so, giving Himself fully to His devotees. And sometimes people even say, the Vedic society, this is so much talk is going on and there is so much discrimination between men and women. Well, if you look at Lord Kṛṣṇa's pastimes, constantly women are the ones who are glorified. Who are the topmost devotees of Lord Kṛṣṇa? The gopis. After that, Yashoda Mai. She is glorified more than Nand Maharaj. Even in Dwarka and Mathura, Devaki is glorified more than Vasudeva. And now, Rukmiṇī Devi and all the other queens, when they will come, they are glorified more than other associates of Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa. We hear about the pastimes as how Lord, married each one of them, that all 16,108 of these princesses. So here, Rukmiṇī Devi has given her heart King Bhishmaka, the king of Vidarbha, he has also agreed that he wants to marry his daughter. He has only one daughter. He has 5 sons. And the eldest one is Rukmiṇī. Then there is Rukmiratha, Rukmibahu, Rukmamali. And so there are like one more. So again, these 5 sons, they are there, and the eldest one is Rukmiṇī, and he doesn't want to marry his sister to Lord Kṛṣṇa. Rather, he wants to marry her to Shishupal. Now, who is Shishupal? That's something you would want to know, right? So, Shishupal is in his 3rd birth form. That was because of the curse given by the Chaturkumars, the Brahmin boys. When they were at the 7th gate of Vaikuntha, they had cursed Jaya and Vijay. And so the curse was given, and the curse was that they would have to take either 7 births as devotees or 3 births as demons. And they selected the 3 births as demons, and Lord Padmanabha Vishnu himself blessed that you will always remember me. So in the 1st birth they appeared as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So Jai became Hiranyakashipu, Vijay became Hiranyaksha. 2nd birth they came as Ravan and Kumbhakaran. So Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, you can imagine, is they were great warriors and they were ruling the universe, yet Lord is transcendental and he appears from the pillar, and the first time in the case of Hiranyaksha, he appears from the nostrils of Lord Brahma. So there is a gulf of difference between how Lord appears and how they are born as sons of Diti. Now in the 2nd birth, the distance reduces. Jaya is born as Ravan, and Vijay is born as Kumbhakaran in their 2nd birth. And Lord appears as Lord Ramchandra. And then there is Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna, his expansions and plenary positions of his expansions. And so here Lord Ram kills Ravan and Kumbhakaran, but they were on the same planet, and they were even very close, in India. One is in Ayodhya, another one is in Sri Lanka. Now here in the 3rd birth, Lord is so happy with their service that he gives them almost their equal, position. So Jai is born in his 3rd birth as Shishupal, and Vijay is born as Dantvakra. And both are great warriors. And now Shishupal, it was revealed, just like in the case of Kṛṣṇa, when he was, acting as a charioteer for his sister, taking her to her in-laws' place, the, Bhavishyamani, Akashvani, that proclamation happened, where it was revealed that he will be killed by the 8th son of his sister, Devaki. Similarly, at the time Shishupal took birth, and Shishupal's mother was Vasudev's sister, Vasudeva and Kunti's sister. So when she gave birth to this child, he was born with 3 eyes and 4 arms, and he was not very pleasing to look at. And even the maids, they were saying that we should throw this boy away. Yet because of her love towards her child, the queen, she kept him close to her, in her arms, close to her heart, and she was constantly weeping. And at that time again, this prophecy is called out, Akashvani happens, where it is said that he will be a great warrior. Yet at the same time, his death will be in the hand of a person. When holding him, the 3rd eye as well as the extra 2 arms, they will disappear. So now she became, as a mother, she became worried. Well, in the case of Diti, when Kashyapa Muni, he said that you will give birth to demons, demonic sons, she was disturbed that she gave birth to Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. However, at that time, when Kadam Muni revealed to her, to Diti, that they will be killed by the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So somehow she was satisfied that these 2 sons of mine will attain liberation. And now, this queen, sister of Vasudeva and Kunti, Devi, Queen Kunti, she hears this, prophecy that her son will be killed by the person who once takes my son in his palm, in his arms, his third eye and the two arms will disappear. So she is called, great festivities going on, and she is taking her baby and giving in the laps of all the kings. And as they are carrying, nothing is happening. So again, the celebration is going on, and Vasudev, Devaki, and Krishna and Balaram, they visit her, Chedi state. And there, after Vasudeva and Devaki have held the baby, and Lord Balaram holds the baby, Lord Krishna holds the baby. And as soon as Lord Krishna holds the baby, what happens? The third eye disappears and the two arms. And now she's saying that he's your brother. So this is mercy of Lord Krishna, that even to his devotees who had committed offenses, they have taken birth, but he is reducing, he is giving them almost equal position as their brothers, as their cousins. And Dantvakra is Vijay. So Shishupal is the name of this baby, who was originally born with 3 eyes and 4 arms. But then once Lord Krishna takes it, he becomes like a normal child. And now his mother, Shishupal's mother, is pleading to Lord Krishna that give me a boon that he will never kill him. And then Lord Krishna is revealing to him that I cannot go against the saying, and rather think of it, I will be giving him liberation. Because he's thinking that this is a devotee of mine who committed an offense. This is the third birth. Once I deliver him in this birth, then he will attain his position back. So the curse will be over. Yet his mother, who happens to be my aunt, is requesting that I don't kill this baby. How could it be? Then finally he agrees that I will pardon his 100 offenses, where each offense is as grave as, to be given the punishment of death. So when she hears it, she is satisfied. And now Shishupal knows this. So when he would blaspheme Lord Krishna, he was an expert counter, right? And he was an expert in calling various names to Lord Krishna, so bad names. And again, we heard as how Saraswati Devi, she uses the same names to glorify Lord Krishna. And he would count and he would stop before he is reaching 100, as he is about to exceed 100. So he would stop. And next time as he is saying various names to Lord Krishna, he would stop. So he would count perfectly well. Until we'll see at the Rajasuya Yagya, which was also covered in the 7th canto, as how Shishupal was killed by Lord Krishna. So this Shishupal is none other than Ravan. And Rukmiṇī wants to marry Vedarbi, who is Rukmiṇī Devi, who is none other than Sita Mata, right? See, she is expanding. So this is Lord's Alahadini Shakti. She is appearing as an internal potency, and Rukmiṇī is thinking that he wants to marry her to Ravan, Shishupal in this case. And Lord Krishna, in his previous, he appeared as Ram earlier. So Rukmiṇī Devi, realizing that her brother is against her, she sends this Brahman. And we talked about that this Brahman is an expansion, of Vishwamitra, sage Vishwamitra. And so he takes this letter of Rukmiṇī Devi and he goes to Dwarka. And the gatekeepers of Dwarka bring him to Lord Krishna. And at that time, Lord Krishna, when he sees this Brahman, he is very pleased, because earlier Devashi Narad had glorified the beauty and the wonderful characteristics and the sweet manners and all the auspicious signs that Rukmiṇī had. So when Lord Krishna heard those descriptions from Devashi Narad, he understood that this is his Alahadini Shakti, this is the expansion of Radharani, who has come, and she would be his first wife in this pastime. So he has already given his heart, because she is constantly meditating on him, so he is also constantly meditating on her. It is also very nicely given that when we go to Saraswati temple, there is a beautiful deity of Lord Vishnu. He is lying on Ananta Shesh, and his hand is actually going outside, his bed that is, being created by Ananta Shesh, who is coiling himself, and his hand is on a shivling. So he is meditating on Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva is constantly meditating on him. A very beautiful way Lord is reciprocating that he is in the heart of his devotees, because in the devotee's heart there is no one else but him. The devotees are constantly meditating on Lord Krishna. They are constantly in transcendental bliss. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They are deriving great satisfaction and experiencing transcendental bliss, remembering Lord Krishna. So similarly, he is being identified as how Lord Krishna is constantly thinking of Rukmiṇī Devi. And he is, when the Brahman comes, he doesn't immediately expresses that. He welcomes the Brahman first, and he's showing us how to welcome a guest, and especially a Brahman. He washes the Brahman's feet himself, makes sure that the Brahman has had nice bath, he's been given nice prasadam, he is resting very nicely, and then while the Brahman was resting in the bed, Lord Krishna, who is in his Navyavan form, right, youthful form, he enters quietly, so not to disturb, and picks up the feet of this Brahman and puts them on his lap and starts pressing them, as serving his own devotee. And at that time, he's inquiring from the Brahman, as how is this Brahman, asking for his, welfare and about his whereabouts and so forth. He's not directly jumping to the topic. He wants the Brahman to feel at home, be welcomed, being, and Brahman is in complete bliss. Yet at the same time, Namo Brahmanaya Devaya. So again, that's where it is revealed that Lord even considers Brahmans as Devas. So here, Lord Krishna is pressing the feet of this Brahman, smiling very nicely, welcoming him, making him feel comfortable. And at that time, he, as Brahman, he sits down and he starts to discuss further. Lord Krishna asks about what's the purpose, and the Brahman, he, takes out the letter, and then Lord Krishna asks him to read the letter. So this is the first love letter that Lord Krishna is receiving, right? The first love letter was given by Rukmiṇī Devi to Lord Krishna. And this Brahman is reading this letter, that how, having heard about his name, form, activities and pastimes, his glories from the mouth of sage Narad, she has completely given her heart to him, and she is helplessly, hopelessly surrendered at his lotus feet, and she has accepted him as her husband. Now for an unmarried girl who has never seen the boy, to say such a thing is a big deal, right? Even in today's society. And she is basically identifying that it is not at her fault. So she is very clearly identifying in a letter that he is so magnanimous that everyone would fall in love with him. So this is a characteristic of Lord Krishna. Krishna means all attractive. So Lord attracts all kind of people. And he has unlimited potencies. And there would be something, a potency that would be attractive to someone. For warriors, chivalry, that's attractive. And he is the strongest of all. For people who are intelligent, Gyan, knowledge is important. And he is the most knowledgeable personality. Sarvasya chaham hridaya sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha Vedescha sarve rahmeva vedyo vedant kridveda vida eva chaham. Lord Krishna reveals in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, Sarvasya chaham hridaya sannivishto. I am residing in every living entity's heart. Hridayashita Arjuna Tishtayis. And from me comes knowledge, remembrance and ignorance, even forgetfulness comes from Lord Krishna. Vedescha sarve rahame vedyo. So he is the knower of all the Vedyas, and the purpose of the Vedyas is to know Lord Krishna. So he is the most knowledgeable. So a person who is seeking knowledge will be attracted towards. And he is the husband of Goddess of Fortune. So that's why he is also called Madhava. So he is the richest person, the most famous personality. So of course people, that's why he is also called all attractive. Krishna is all attractive. God is all attractive. And she is explaining in her plea that how hopelessly and helplessly she has fallen in love with him. She has given him his heart. Yet at the same time, her brother is bent upon marrying her to Shishupal. And she is revealing to him that a jackal should not take lion's share. So because she is fully dedicated to Lord Krishna, she is asking him to bestow mercy and make her his bride, Lord Krishna's bride. So at that time, again, she's further explaining that if Lord Kṛṣṇa was to come, where Rukmiṇī is making all this arrangement and ceremony arrangements are being made, there can be, this fight or battle could ensue, and many of the relatives on both parties may get injured or even killed. So she's showing her liberal manner as how she is even being very diplomatic and politically very savvy by saying that, as part of the ceremony, I have to go outside the city of Vidarbha and to the temple of goddess Durga, Girija. So that's another name of goddess Durga, who is our family deity. So when I'm going there to worship her, or when I'm coming back, there will be an opportunity for you to kidnap me. So she's even giving him how to. And then she says that if you don't come and if you don't accept me, then I will starve and I will give up this life. And for unlimited number of lives, for hundreds of lives, I will perform austerities to get you as my husband. So this reminds me of a very beautiful pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy with his devotees, and in his magnanimous, being so magnanimous personality, he is the golden avatar, right? Patita Pavana. So he doesn't kill any living entity like other avatars kill. Rather, he destroys the demon in our heart, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. And he gives a very simple formula to do that. Chanting of the holy name. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, as he's giving one wish after another, there was one devotee, Mukunda. He is asking his friends to ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to ask when his turn will become, when he will get the blessing, when he will be able to go back to Godhead. So they go and ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when will Mukunda be able to go and go back to Godhead? So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's basically, I'm paraphrasing, says that Mukunda goes to different householders' place when he is doing kirtan and all, and he promotes this demigod worshipping. So after 1 million births, so they come and they tell Mukunda that after 1 million births you will be able to go back to Godhead, and you will get Lord's mercy. And Mukunda starts dancing. And seeing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is very pleased, and he says, bring Mukunda now. I want to bless him right now. So that is the mood of a devotee, that they would just want to perform service, and even something like this, that once in blue moon you will have an opportunity. They take it in a positive manner. So it is not a foolish manner, but it is, they know that finally the destination is that they will be able to attain the lotus feet of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So she is expressing in her letter that she will perform austerities for hundreds and hundreds of lives to attain Lord Kṛṣṇa as her husband. And so Lord Kṛṣṇa at this moment is holding arms of this Brahman, both the arms. So because he is appearing as a Kshatriya, the other personality is a Brahman, and they have not had any close relationship, like Sudama Brahman. He was a childhood friend of Lord Kṛṣṇa, so Lord Kṛṣṇa would embrace him. But here this Brahman has come as a messenger, so he is holding the arms of this Brahman, and he is smiling, and he is saying that I cannot even sleep remembering Rukmiṇī Devi. And I have already accepted, I have fallen in love with her, and I know that she has fallen in love with me, and she is constantly remembering me. And at that time, Brahman, he reveals that Lord Kṛṣṇa should hurry up when he reveals that she is going to be married soon. So Lord Kṛṣṇa immediately calls his chariot. So the chariot comes from Vaikuntha Lok. And here the charioteer Daruk, he gives the instruction to get the chariot ready. And so Daruk, he puts 4 horses. And these are the 4 horses where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes about these 4 horses from Padma Puran. So in Padma Puran, Lord Krishna's chariot horses are described. It's a beautiful verse. Shabhashtu Shukla Pratabha Sugrivo Hema Pingulaha Mega Pushpastu Meghabha Pandurohi Balahakaha. Shabhya was green like a parrot's wings. So Shab is the first horse, green like a parrot wings. Then the next horse is Sugriva. He is like yellow gold, and also said to be somewhat like in the ice grey. So it's a that kind of shade. Megha Pushpa is the color of a rainy cloud, the bluish complexion, greyish bluish complexion. And Balahaka is whitish, and yet it is light grey, just like the color of a ash. So the chariot is ready, and Lord Kṛṣṇa, he gets onto the chariot, and he gives his hand and helps the Brahman also gets onto the chariot. So you can imagine how much bliss this Brahman is feeling. First of all, because of Rukmiṇī Devi, he is able to see Lord Kṛṣṇa, his worshipable deity, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is already in bliss. And then Lord Kṛṣṇa is again and again holding his arm, smiling at him, is very pleased with him. And all the impurities that he had are immediately washed away. And he is, as a devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa, is, as a soul surrendered to Lord Kṛṣṇa, he is carrying out as Lord Kṛṣṇa desires. So Lord Kṛṣṇa wants him to come with him, he is coming with Lord Kṛṣṇa. And in one night itself, hundreds of thousands of miles are covered by Lord Kṛṣṇa's chariot. So Lord Kṛṣṇa is, further west of Gujarat, he is in Dwarka, 30-40 miles in the sea. So on the chariot, he is able to come, and Vidarbha, this city of Vidarbha is in the North India, while we know Magad is on the Orissa region, and then we have Bengal, and Vindhya Hills is further onto the southern side, Andhra and nearby areas. So here, Lord Kṛṣṇa, in one night itself, is able to reach Kundina, which is, outside Vidarbha city, but within the province of Vidarbha. Just like we talked about how, even though Dwarka is outside, it is considered within the province of Mathura, within the district of Mathura. So here, Lord Kṛṣṇa is there, and at that time, Balram hears, Lord Sankarshan hears that all the kings who are going, who are friends of Shishupal. And what are these kings? These are Dantavakra, Jarasangh, Shedi, Pondraka. So all these are very powerful kings, and they have not just gone just to the celebration, but rather they have carried their armies. So remember the 23 Akshayani armies that previously Jarasangh had brought, and Lord Kṛṣṇa did not kill any of them. He brought all those 23 Akshayani armies to the wedding. Who brings armies to the weddings? Well, this is a case where they are thinking that Lord Kṛṣṇa will definitely make some arrangement to create a fight. So all these demonic kings are ready. And it just so happens that Lord Balaram, he comes with his army of Yadavas, descendants of Yadus, the Vishnus, the Bhojas, the Shalukas, and so forth. So they are coming, and they also reach on the outskirts of Kundina. And Rukmiṇī Devi, she is thinking that today at night I will be married, and I have not seen any sign of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So she is meditating on Lord Kṛṣṇa constantly, and she is awaiting some response. She wants to see Lord Kṛṣṇa, she wants to see either Lord Kṛṣṇa or the Brahman, but she has not seen any of them. And so she is in this great anxiety. And it said that she is, looking at her state, that she is constantly crying, hiding from others, and when she can't stop her tears, she just closes her eyes helplessly. So that is her mood, that she cannot live with this thought that she will be married to anyone else apart from Lord Kṛṣṇa. And who's the personality who she is going to get married to? Shishupal, who's none other than Ravan in the previous part. And who's Lord Kṛṣṇa? Previously appeared as Lord Ramchandra. Who is she? Previously as Sita Devi. So Ramayana remake with a different combination. So here, Lord is showing his mercy to his devotee. First he showed his mercy to the Brahman. And then when he is outside Kundina, Lord Balaram comes and joins him. Now what has happened is, all these kings, who are part of the groom's party, they have come with their armies. They are all ready. In case Krishna and Balaram have any plans, we are going to destroy those plans. We are going to defeat them and put an end to this constant quarrel. And so King Bhishmaka, he goes out and he welcomes all these kings. So, king of Chedi, Dam Ghosh. So, Dam means one who can subdue, and Ghosh means one who is famous. So, he was very famous in subduing his populace, his citizens, with the use of his militia powers, right? Militia. So, with the use of his armies, he was able to control his population. Sometimes, when you are controlling the population so that they can make spiritual advancement, that's a different aspect. But here we are hearing that these were demons who were posing themselves as kings. In today's time, we call such a person as a dictator. In today's world, seeking sense gratification but promoting dictatorship. So that was the, form, demonic form of Dam Ghosh, who happens to be a relative, an uncle of Lord Kṛṣṇa, because his wife is Lord Krishna's Bua, right? Vasudev's sister. So here, Lord Kṛṣṇa and Balaram are there, and King Bhishmaka, he goes out to welcome all these grooms party as they are coming on elephants. So Dam Ghosh along with his son Shishupal is on an elephant. Pandraka is coming in the back. Jarasangh is also joining them. Shalvya is also joining them. So all these demonic kings are in this party. Dantavakra is there. And they are coming with their armies. And on the outskirts of Kundina, there were beautiful big gardens. And today we call that kind of arrangement with palaces as, estate homes. Sometimes people do this resort-based marriage ceremonies. Imagine you just keep one resort. But here, King Bhishmaka has made such wonderful arrangements that he is welcoming and giving them, being so hospitable, he's welcoming them and giving them nice palaces surrounded by beautiful gardens. And he is honoring them with, fresh clothes and garlands and so forth. And they are really feeling the bliss that King Bhishmaka is so magnanimous. And King Bhishmaka really wants to give his daughter, Rukmiṇī, to Lord Kṛṣṇa. But because of his attachment to his eldest son, he is not able to do that. And so when he hears that Lord Kṛṣṇa and Balaram have come, he goes out to meet them. But Rukmiṇī Devi, she doesn't know yet. She is feeling, very high anxiety. So this is Vipralambha Bhav that we see in the case of gopis. In separation, her love is increasing for Lord Kṛṣṇa. And when she cannot stop her tears, she closes her eyes in helpless mood. And now she is meditating that maybe I have not worshipped Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva enough or Lord Surya Dev. So she is thinking of demigods that they are upset. Maybe when, Lord Kṛṣṇa was coming to, her place, Vidarbha, at that time, because of Lord Brahma, some kind of calamity may have happened. That's why he's not able to come. Or maybe because of Lord Shiva, he's called Rudra. And maybe she committed some offense in worshipping goddess Durga, who's also wife of Lord Shiva, Parvati. So she's also called Rudrani. So she's thinking that how Rudra and Rudrani sometimes they give miseries to others. So maybe they are the one causing all this misery and this separation. And she is meditating constantly in this mood that maybe Goddess Durga, and Goddess Durga is their family deity, so Girija, right? And so she is thinking that Goddess Durga is also called the daughter of Himalaya, the Giriraj. So Himalaya, so at that time, again we saw Giriraj as Govardhan Hill as well. But this is Himalaya, the biggest, the largest mountain range with the highest peaks. So she is thinking that he is very hard and cold. Himalaya is very hard and cold. So similarly, his daughter, Goddess Durga, is also very hard-hearted. And maybe so that's why she is not blessing and she is making me go through all this anxiety and misery and so forth, suffering. So she's in this mood. While what has happened is, Lord Balaram and Lord Kṛṣṇa has come at Kundina, and as soon as King Bhishmak, he comes to know of this, he immediately goes and welcomes them. And Lord Kṛṣṇa has sent the Brahman to see Rukmiṇī Devi. So this Brahman messenger goes to see Rukmiṇī Devi, and he is able to go to her inner quarters, in her chambers in the palace. And when she sees him, first is she is asking, what is the news? And Brahman is revealing, yes, Lord Krishna is here. So she is asking, is Lord Krishna here? That's all she cares about. And Brahman is smiling, giving her assurance that Lord Krishna is here. And at that time, she could not find anything to give to this Brahman. So she simply bowed down, showing that she is indebted to him for her whole life. So she is goddess of fortune. She is Mahamaya. She is, Lord's internal potency. She is his Aladini Shakti. And she is, bowing down to this Brahman, showing her gratitude. And Brahman accepts it. He has been completely, being washed off of any, because Lord Krishna touched him. So all his, any tinge of materialism is washed off. And he is a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. So he accepts it. And he is actually glorifying her in his heart. That because of you, I am able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vasudeva. Because of you, I spent the whole evening with him. Because of you, I spent the whole night riding on his chariot. Because of you, I'm carrying out his service. So he's engaged in devotional service, relishing transcendental bliss while serving Lord Krishna and serving Rukmiṇī Devi. So he is serving this manner. So what happens when this Brahman goes back? So that is what Shukadeva Goswami doesn't cover here. But when he goes back, his heart is filled with treasures, it's valuable gifts and so forth. And yet at the same time, he has no attachment for it. So he engages everything in Lord Krishna's service. So this is the mood of a devotee. That when Lord gives him, he engages back in Lord Krishna's service. So Lord gives him more. So sometimes when materialist is new in Krishna consciousness, Lord shows his mercy by taking away all the wealth, so that he only feels one shelter, that is Lord Krishna. Yet when one becomes engaged in devotional service and advances, then Lord Krishna, realizing the heart of a devotee, gives the devotee in abundance. And we see in the case of Srila Prabhupada, he came to US with just 40 rupees, which was like $7 at that time. Yet at the same time, Lord Krishna sent him, and Srila Prabhupada glorifies Lord Krishna and his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, who sent all these American boys and girls to Srila Prabhupada. And they became such wonderful devotees. And Srila Prabhupada said that when he sees these American boys and girls, his disciples, when he used to see them, he would feel that they have just come from Vaikuntha. He would feel this transcendental bliss and glorify his spiritual master and Lord Krishna. And then Lord Krishna provided him an abundance. So, and what did he do? Every penny that he got, he returned back and he engaged in devotional service for the satisfaction of Lord Shri Krishna, Shri Radha Krishna. So that was his mood. That constantly serve Shri Radha Krishna, Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Radha Madhav, Shri Radha Landaneshwar, Shri Radha Giridhari. So Lord Krishna is constantly, giving. So similarly, this Brahman receives immense wealth and fortune, and Brahman uses that wealth back in serving Lord Krishna. So this is a beautiful pastime where we see how the same mood has been shown by Srila Prabhupada in serving Lord Krishna and his spiritual master. So that is our mood as well as devotees. We aspire to serve Lord Krishna with the same mood, following the same examples as Srila Prabhupada, how to serve, he shows us our spiritual master, the exalted Vaishnavas, and Lord's devotees as well as Lord Shri Krishna, Shri Radha Krishna. So here, Rukmiṇī Devi, she is in bliss. She knows that Lord Krishna is there. And Lord Krishna has been welcomed. He has been given very nice place along with Lord Balaram and the army. So King Bhishma, you can imagine how magnanimous this king was. He was not just welcoming the kings according to their different positions, but also he was making arrangements so all the armies that they were bringing are also very nicely fed and made comfortable. And it's so interesting that when Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram were in Kundina, all the residents, they came out to see Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. And with the cup of their eyes, they were drinking this, sweet form of Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. And they had already heard that earlier Rukmiṇī Devi was supposed to be married to Lord Krishna. And now they are looking at Lord Kṛṣṇa and they are saying, yes, it is only Lord Kṛṣṇa who is fit to be her husband, and it is only she who is fit to be his wife. And they are praying in their heart. Even King Bhishma is praying in his heart that if we have performed any pious activities in our this life or in our past lives, then let it come true that Rukmiṇī Devi gets wedded, to Lord Kṛṣṇa. So she gets married to Lord Kṛṣṇa. So they are all praying in their heart. And they are praying it to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, who is none other than Lord Kṛṣṇa. So here in this mood, everyone is feeling this mellow, and they had already heard that just like Rukmiṇī had changed this, there was also a rumor being spread that Rukmiṇī Devi had sent a messenger Brahman to call Lord Kṛṣṇa, and that's why he is here. Well, all the demonic kings, on the side of Shishupal, they're ready if something happens. And it just so happens that Rukmiṇī Devi, she goes out, for the worship of the family deity, Girija, goddess Durga. So she is going out of the city of Vidarbha to the temple. And there she is going with big guards all around her. All her relatives, the ladies are accompanying, her maidservants are accompanying. And as she comes near the temple, the Brahmana's wives, they are giving her different kind of gifts for the worship. So here, elderly Brahmana wives, they are also, making sounds because they were expert in, worshipping goddess Durga. So here, Srila Prabhupada reveals that devotees, they are approaching, like gopis approached, and they worship goddess Katyayani. Why? To get Lord Kṛṣṇa as their husband. Similarly, Rukmiṇī Devi is going to worship goddess Durga. Why? Because she is constantly meditating on the lotus feet of Lord Kṛṣṇa and wants to get married to Lord Kṛṣṇa. So that is her wish, that is her desire, that is her goal. When she is worshipping, she is asking and she is praying for it. And so as they are all going and worshipping, it is said that she worships goddess Durga along with her children. Now, Mahadev, Lord Shiva, and goddess Durga, they have 4 children, right? 2 boys and 2 girls. We all know about the boys, yes. Kartikeya and Lord Ganesh. These are the 2 boys. Now, who are the 2 girls? One of the girl is goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, and the second one is goddess of learning, goddess Saraswati. So these are the 2 daughters of goddess Durga. And who is Rukmiṇī? She is goddess of fortune. So if you look at it from that perspective, as Srila Prabhupada explains, from that perspective it becomes clear that a daughter is worshipping her mother to get her the right groom. And mother is so magnanimous that of course she would bless. So here, as she is praying to goddess Durga, and Srila Prabhupada reveals that she was not going for any materialistic benediction. She was going to meditate, and this is, the recommended way. When somebody worships Lord Shiva, then they should worship Lord Shiva as a Vaishnava, great Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, he is the topmost Vaishnava, and should ask for the blessings that we become devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa, that Lord Kṛṣṇa accepts us. So he makes a plea on our behalf to Lord Kṛṣṇa, and being the topmost Vaishnava, Lord Kṛṣṇa would listen to him. So instead of listening to us, maybe we should approach. So that's why we glorify Lord Shiva a lot. And goddess Durga is also known as Vaishno Devi, right? Vaishno Devi means a Devi who is a devotee of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu is none other than Lord Kṛṣṇa. Just like Lord Kṛṣṇa, he expands in various Vishnu Tattvas as various Vishnu forms, Purusha incarnations and so forth, many avatars. Similarly, Radharani expands into various forms. And her expansion as Chandravali, and Chandravali's expansion as Aishwarya Bhavi is Rukmiṇī Devi, Haladini Shakti. While expansion of Radharani and Aishwarya Bhavis we'll see later as Satyabhama. So Satyabhama has 3 personalities in one, so that's another amazing aspect. Where Satyabhama has, again, we'll talk about it more in Samantika Jewel. She has Gunvati, she has Mother Earth as well as Radharani, so 3 personalities in one. That's there in case of Satyabhama. So here, Rukmiṇī Devi, she is in the prime of her youth, just 13-14-year-old, and she was extremely beautiful. So the description of Rukmiṇī Devi is given as when she is walking, her anklets are making beautiful sounds, and she's wearing this long silk garment in the form of sari. And as she is worshipping, when she comes down, at that time there were various kings on the outskirts along with their armies. They are ready. So remember the scene of Ramayana. Ravan had to make so many plans to make sure that Lord Ramchandra is not there at the Chitrakoot Kutir. He even makes arrangements so that even Lord Lakshman leaves, to help Lord Ramchandra. Even with the help of Marichi, he makes that arrangement, because Marichi, while dying, he says, Lakshman, Lakshman, in the voice of Lord Ramchandra. So imitating Lord Ramchandra's voice. So Sita Devi forces Lakshman to leave. And when Sita Devi is alone, then Ravan is coming in a disguised form to, kidnap Sita Devi. And she is constantly rebuking him. She is constantly, resisting this kidnapping. Now look at this pastime, where Lord Kṛṣṇa, Lord Balaram, and all the Yadavas, they are standing among other princes and other kings. Jarasandha is there, Shishupal is there. They are ready with their armies. If something happens, we will take care of it. And this is where Lord Kṛṣṇa says in his universal form, his smile is Maya, right? As Maya is so alluring. So as they see Rukmiṇī Devi, walking down the stairs from the temple, as she is returning on her journey back to the palace, they are looking at her beautiful form. And she is beauty personified. She has beautiful raised cheeks. She has beautiful eyes. She's wearing beautiful garlands. And it's said that, her walk is like that of a swan, very melodious. And then she smiles. When she smiles, her teeth are very beautiful. So again, they're like birds, the flower birds being identified. And she doesn't care about any of the princesses. However, with the side glance, she sees, and suddenly she recognizes Kṛṣṇa, because she was constantly meditating on Lord Kṛṣṇa's name, form, activities, pastimes, so much so that as soon as she sees Kṛṣṇa, she immediately understands that this is Kṛṣṇa. But what's happening to the other princes and kings? It's very interesting. It's described by Shukadeva Goswami that these kings, as they were seeing her beauty, like just when a materialist gets captivated by Maya and loses oneself completely. So that is their state. These warriors, the weapons of dropping from their hands, they are falling down off their chariots and horses. So they are fainting because of the beauty they are seeing. This Rukmiṇī Devi's beauty is so amazing that they are not able to hold themselves. And Shishupal, Dantavakra, and the mood is also given of these demoniac princes and kings, that they were thinking that they want to enjoy Rukmiṇī Devi. So that is the mood of a materialist when they are thinking that I want to enjoy this material energy, I want to enjoy all the things that actually belong to Lord Kṛṣṇa. And they are constantly bewildered. Materialist is constantly bewildered, just like these princes and the kings were getting bewildered. And Lord Kṛṣṇa, he swiftly takes his chariot. Daruka pulls the chariot right in front of Rukmiṇī Devi, and Rukmiṇī Devi, as soon as Lord Kṛṣṇa extends his hand, she immediately, extends her hand and she gets onto the chariot. And it is said that Lord Kṛṣṇa, he slows his chariot down. And all these kings and princesses, they were ready with their armies. They were ready to attack if something like this happens. And they are seeing that Lord Kṛṣṇa so swiftly, so slowly in front of their eyes. Look at Ramayana, where Ravan had to make so many arrangements. And now here Shishupal is watching as how Rukmiṇī Devi, so easily going willingly with Lord Kṛṣṇa. And Lord Kṛṣṇa takes, and then right after him, headed by Lord Balaram, the Yadavas army is there. So this is where this chapter ends. And it is shown as how Lord Kṛṣṇa is proving that, he is taking away Rukmiṇī Devi just like a lion's share in front of jackals. Yet Jarasandha, he is saying, oh alas, what is going on? The jackals have taken lion's booty. So this is where he is putting it other way. So everything belongs to Lord Kṛṣṇa. And Goddess of Fortune is his wife, his queen. So there is no doubt that they are constantly serving. Goddess of Fortune is constantly serving Lord Vishnu. And that is her mood. Yet at the same time, materialists pray for her so that they can enjoy. Yet at the same time, they are constantly bewildered because Lord Krishna again and again kidnaps her, and they become bewildered, and they are frustrated in their attempt. We hear in the next chapter as how Shishupal is so nicely consoled by Jarasandha. Jarasandha is telling him, oh, don't worry, this is only because of providence that you have encountered this situation. It is not your fault, means you are brave and we are all ready. But it was just, it just happens to be Lord Krishna's day, it just happens to be, he just got lucky that he was able to take her. And it is only because of our past karmas. So he is actually speaking Shastra to Shishupal, trying to console. Just like earlier, when Hiranyaksha was killed, Hiranyakashipu was consoling his mother and his sister-in-law, Hiranyaksha's wife, and his nephews by saying that, he was giving the example of that king and how Yamraj was coming, and he was talking of Shastra as, we are not this body, we are the soul, and the purpose of body is, when it's solved, one has to move on its journey. So similarly, Jarasandha gives great, advice and try to console his friend Shishupal. It's also very nicely described that how Rukmiṇī, he gets offended when he hears, and he chases. He takes a vow, he chases. And he says that I will defeat Kṛṣṇa and bring my sister back, otherwise I will not come back. Just because he says he will not come back, he never comes back, because now he's caught by his own words. So it is said that he goes to Dwarka, and that's a wonderful pastime on its own. A lot of wonderful lessons are there. Well, hearing this, we are seeing that again and again Lord Krishna is doing a very simple act, but just like he said that he will take away the fire from the wood so selectively, which actually turns all the wood into ashes as soon as the fire has been taken away. The fire devours the wood itself. Similarly, Lord Krishna took away Rukmiṇī Devi. He kidnapped her, so that's Rajasi Vivaha, and so that it will be performed later on. So that happens later on. And here, how he has turned all this, the valor of these demoniac kings to ashes. So that has been glorified. And as how Shishupal is so depressed. And there is another personality, Pondruka. He was very proud of his strength, but he was also feeling defeated. And he is also known as false Vasudeva afterwards. So there are another wonderful pastimes, coming attractions, as we say. That's coming up as well. And here, by simple acts, Lord Krishna is teaching us the lessons that everything comes from him. I am the ability in man, he is saying, Parasham Rishu in Bhagavad Gita. So our abilities and all the possessions should be used in his service. To whatever capability we can do, we should continue to do that. And if we find it hard, then there is a very simple process. And sometimes in Hindi we say, Sing lagi na fit kari, rang bhi chokha hoy. It doesn't take any effort. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to go out anything. All you have to do is raise your hand and chant, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So it reminds me as how Lord Krishna, by simple act, he can solve so many purposes. Once Lord Krishna, this is a story from Puranam, Lord Krishna and Arjuna were together, and Arjuna sees that there is a Brahmana begging. Now Brahmanas are not supposed to beg, but his Brahmana was so poor that he came down to the level of begging. So Arjuna went and gave him 100 golden coins. This Brahman was very, he was in bliss, receiving so much. So this 100 gold coins is enough for a Brahman to last a lifetime. And as this Brahman was coming back home, he saw another poor person, another beggar, but he did not feel like giving him. He could have just given 1 or 2 gold coins to this person, but for somehow he became miserly. He said, this is mine. So he did not give anything. So it just so happened as he moved forward, a thief stole it. He snatched away the bag of golden coins and ran away. So now Brahman was in big distress. He just received something, now he lost it. So next day when Arjuna and Krishna, Lord Krishna, they are, walking, they again see this Brahman begging. And he is, then Arjuna asks him, what happened? So he reveals that, a thief just snatched away the bag of gold coin and ran away. At that time, Arjuna, being compassionate, as a Kshatriya, Kshatriyas are chivalrous and they provide, they give a lot of charity. He gives a diamond to this Brahman. So the Brahman is now even in greater bliss because this is even costlier than that. So he, without stopping, hiding it, he goes home. And at home, it's a long way. So because of anxiety, he's very tired. So he goes to sleep, but he doesn't want to leave it anywhere. So he puts it in a water pot. There was an empty water pot. So he puts this diamond in a water pot. He goes to sleep. His wife comes home. She was not at home at that time when he came home. Oh, she sees that her husband is home and he's sleeping. So she says, oh, I should cook something. Let me get some water from the river. So she picks up that, matka, that pot, and she takes it to the river, not knowing that there is a diamond in that particular pot. She tries to fill water. Because of the wave in the river, the diamond is taken away. And she fills the pot, she brings home, and she starts to cook. And when he gets up, he says, oh, where is the diamond? I kept it in this pot, but it's filled with water. She reveals to him that she didn't observe any diamond. He now is again thinking that by providence, he has lost even the diamond. So he goes back, and then the third day, they are on a walk, Lord Kṛṣṇa and Arjun, and they see this Brahman again begging. So at this time, Arjun is surprised, and Lord Kṛṣṇa assures him. He goes and gives one silver coin to this Brahman. Now this silver coin doesn't have enough that he can even eat one meal. So this Brahman, he's thinking that this silver coin I received, but I can't even have one meal. So he's a little depressed, but he's heading back home. On the way, what he sees is that a fisherman has caught a fish. And this fish is in a lot of pain. So he thinks of, at least I can use this silver coin to release this fish. So he gives the silver coin, gets the fish, and puts her in a pot, in a pot with water. So the fish is happy. And as the fish goes in water, she tries to, immediately, feel that, the presence of water because she was outside water. That's our state as living entities. We're outside water in this material world. So immediately she, the diamond from her throat comes out. And he's not surprised, so he picks up the diamond from that. And as he's tucking away the diamond, at that time, the thief happens to cross by. And seeing that this Brahman would recognize him and would, report him to people and they would beat him up, he immediately goes to the Brahman, asking for forgiveness. He gives him the 100 golden coins that he had received from the Brahmans. And he is surprised. And when Arjun, because he was surprised when Kṛṣṇa gave him just a coin, a silver coin. He said, this Brahman can't even buy one meal. Lord Kṛṣṇa says, if you don't believe, just go. And when Arjun sees that with that one silver coin, first of all, this Brahman, who was a miserly person, became magnanimous. He engaged in to help another living entity. And then Lord mercy just kept flowing. So this is a lesson for us that we should continue to understand that Lord blessings come in a very disguised form. Sometimes through a devotee, sometimes even through Maya, when she kicks us again and again. In various forms it comes. What we have to see is we have to take lessons. Good things happening, we have to take lessons. And even better lessons come when bad things happen to us. That's why Queen Kunti is constantly praying that let one danger after another, one calamity after another calamity come to me, because when calamity comes, she is able to get shelter of Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa. She is able to see Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa. And when she sees Lord Kṛṣṇa, then she knows that there will not be any future birth and death. So there won't be any future birth, because when we are constantly meditating on Lord Kṛṣṇa, we will be able to go back home, back to Godhead. Lord Kṛṣṇa reveals in Bhagavad Gita, Antakale cha mameva sparan muktva kalevaram yaha prayati samadbhavam yati nastatra shamshaya. So whoever remembers him at the last moment of their life, Antakal, right? At that time, only remembering Lord Kṛṣṇa, then one is surely guaranteed by Lord Kṛṣṇa himself to attain him, to be able to go back home, back to Godhead. So this is where this chapter ends. And please join us for Narasimhadev prayers. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste.
भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गौ प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा।